Hello everyone, and welcome to another game I played on the Pokemon trading card game online. I am Pooka, and this time around I'm going to be trying out a brand new Ninetales Amoonguss Raticate deck. So if you don't know what the objective of this deck is, it's to use Amoonguss's Spore Prize to put special conditions on your opponent, Poison and Confuse, and then you can choose which attacker you want to use. Ninetales can use Hexed Flame, which does 20 plus 50 for each special condition on the defending Pokemon, so it'll do 120 plus 10 for poison, so pretty much 130 damage for 1, if you can get the whole combo out. And then Raticate's Super Fang, it reduces the opponent's hit points down to 10. So basically, you poison them, you bring the hit points down to 10, and then they automatically get knocked out by poison. So it's a very effective strategy against EX Pokemon, but it takes 3 energy to attack with Raticate, and Ninetales isn't actually very good against EXs, because it just doesn't do quite enough to knock it out, or knock out the EXs. But we'll see what happens. I did have to pass my first turn, and it looks like I'm just facing a whole bunch of EXs here. I got a Landorus, a Tornadus, and a Mewtwo. And my opponent, his screen name is mattburnsred. His name is Matt Jackaruso. He's played against me a few times on my stream when I do that, so I'm familiar with him. And he's going to get a switch here. Looks like he's going to go right into Tornadus EX and blow through. I was afraid he would have a Sky Arrow Bridge and be able to hit me for 60 turn 1. But he didn't, so I'm grateful for that. So I get a Ninetales out. I'm confused on whether or not I should be using Bright Look here, because he just played a Skyla. He didn't do really anything else. And I decided to keep the Tornadus EX active because that's the thing that has energy on it. I could have brought up the Landorus EX since it is a 3 retreat cost, as you can see there, and it would have forced him to have another switch. So I probably should have done that in hindsight, but I was just kind of thinking, no, let's just go after the Pokemon that has energy on it. Didn't seem like he had another supporter in his hand because he played the Skyla, but looks like he had a Juniper, so I was basically all wrong. And as you can see here, I do not have anything going for me. I had a double colorless, which I didn't even want to attach because it's not going to be useful anywhere. And yeah, this is just looking very, very ugly for me. This strategy is one that takes a lot of setup, and I've also already burned a lot of my cards here, an Amoonguss and a Ninetales. This is a deck that is built on abilities that only work when you come into play, so it's really annoying. Once you use them, they're evolved, you can't use them again. So I do draw a Juniper here. I have some hope. I have to discard 3 evolutions there, but it's not the end of the world. So I get a Fungus and a Level Ball out of this. So I'll be able to Level Ball for another Vulpix, probably. I'll just go ahead and do that, I think. I could bench Mew, but that's pretty risky. His Mewtwo could just X-Ball me, I get knocked out. Not a fun situation. So I'm going to grab a Vulpix, I think, and we'll see what happens from there. Put down the Vulpix, probably put an energy on that. Looks like I can't access my discard pile, which is pretty annoying. So I have to decide, where do I want to put this energy? Do I want to put it on the active? Probably not. Doing 20 is probably not worth it with Hexed Flame. I'm going to Super Rod in these 3 Pokemon, just because they're 3 evolutions that I'm going to need anyway, and pass. I don't want to get End and lose that Super Rod. Might as well just play it now. So here, it's not looking good. Just Landorus using Hammerhead is going to be painful. Just 30-30. All of my Pokemon have 90 hit points except for Mew. So, it's not good. Yeah, I mean, everything has 90 hit points. So that's just 3 Hammerheads, or he can set it up where he can do 30 to one of my Pokemon, and then Tornadus EX's Blow Through, if he gets a Stadium in play, does 60. So, I mean, this is just not pretty. This is probably a bad matchup for me. If I could maybe get Raticate into play, get enough energy on him to use Super Fang, then I could have some good trade-offs. I'll be able to knock those things out in one hit. But until that happens, I am not in good shape here. So he's going to Hammerhead me for 30, and then put 30 on the Vulpix. I was afraid he would put 30 on the Amoonguss, because then I could not use Devolution Spray. But he didn't. He went for the Vulpix. I guess he wants to set up for those blow-through knockouts, which is fine as well. But now I have a weird play here. I'm thinking, I mean, if I go after this Landorus EX, what do I do? I hit it for 120, Poison Confuse if I can get everything. Or I could, well, I have all the cards. I could Bright Look out Mewtwo. It's like a catcher. That's the ability. I can Bright Look Mewtwo out, retreat to my Mew, and then knock out that Mewtwo in one hit with my Hexed Flame. Because I'll be able to computer search for an Amoonguss. So I have to decide, is that what I want to do? And I figure, you know what, my hand is really not that great. I'm going to need to use the computer search to get an Amoonguss anyway. Which means I'm going to have to discard all my stuff. So I want to get my 2 prizes and increase my odds of getting a better hand here. So I'm actually going to computer search. Now this is an interesting choice on what to discard and what to play. I kind of think I'm going to need to get Raticate in to play this game. So I'm going to try to bench the Rattata here. Obviously that's super risky, like it only has 30 hit points, that gets knocked out by Hammerhead from Landorus is not good. But I'm going to go for it. And I'm gonna go for a Devolution Spray here as well. Now, this is going to put him at a weird decision on what to attack. Well, first of all, what to attack with and who to attack. So I'm just going to pretty much give him full range of all of my Pokemon and see which decision he makes. He could attack the Mew with Landorus EX and then just Hammerhead, knocking out either Foongus or Rattata. Either one is pretty bad for me. If he takes the Foongus away from me, that pretty much just takes away my whole deck. Spore Prize is really all this deck has going for it. So if he were to use Hammerhead here and just knocked out the Foongus, that would probably be his best course of action. If he has a catcher, he can actually get a double prize this turn, knock out Foongus and Rattata. That would be very painful. That would probably just lose the game for me. But, you know, I didn't really have anything, so I had to take a risk there. And now, I mean, it's still looking ugly. I do have the prize lead, but that doesn't mean very much. And he's actually going to decide to blow through for 30, which is interesting. I could now get a big turn. I'm going to Juniper this away, going for a double colorless, Raticate, and an Amoonguss, but looks like I whiffed. It did not work out very well. And, yeah, that's not good. So now, I really missed everything. I even missed an energy completely. I took the riskier route here because I figured I kind of need to win this matchup. It's just not a pretty matchup for me. This deck in general is not too competitive. It's a lot of fun, but I don't think it's going to be very competitive. Just the Raticate's 60 hit points, 3 energy cost does not work. But you know what? I'm gonna catcher out the Landorus EX, confuse and poison it because it's got those 2 energy on it. It's also got a heavy retreat cost. So I hit it. It's up to 130 damage at this point, and I'm feeling okay. So we'll see what he has. That's the big thing. If he has a switch, I'm pretty much done for. But he actually retreats. Does not look like he has any supporters or anything like that, so that's helpful. He's just going to retreat to his Tornadus EX, and he can blow through for another 60. Mew EX is a really fragile Pokemon. Just 120 hit points. And we'll see what I can do this turn. I don't have many options in my hand. I draw my other Super Rod, so I'm going to play that. It's a weird decision on what I want to put back in. Put back Vulpix, Mew EX, and I guess a Ninetales, because I'm going to have to discard one. I'm going to Juniper this turn. I need to draw a bunch of cards. So let's do that. So yeah, this turn I really don't have any options. I mean, I could get a... I could use Hex Flame, but I don't leave myself with many options past that. He can just retreat then with his Sky Arrow and blow through to knock out my Ninetales. So I think my best option might actually be to grab another Foongus here. Retreat and attach to Raticate and just pass. That's really going to be my turn here. And then we'll just hope he does not have a catcher. Hope he doesn't have a catcher to knock out Raticate. Because if I can get a Super Fang off, I think I can win. That's going to be my one way to win this game. If I can actually power up a Raticate and Super Fang, I can win. But I'm going to retreat to my Amoonguss, because, you know, he's kind of dead weight at this point. And I'm going to pass. Everything else I don't really want to give up. I don't want to give up a Fungus because I need them to evolve into Amoonguss so I can use Spore Prize. I don't want to give up my Ninetales because that's an attacker. I don't want to give up Raticate because I'm going to need that to attack. And Amoonguss is the only thing I don't care about. If he doesn't knock it out, I can just Skyla for a Devolution Spray. And then I'll go back down to Fungus, which has free retreat from the Sky Arrow. But he has a catcher. And that's going to be bad news. Now, I really don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I mean, I promote Fungus. It's got free retreat from the Sky Arrow, so I can just retreat if I want to. I do get a catcher, so I can just catcher out Landorus EX. Maybe knock it out. We'll see, though. He's only got 2 prizes, so this is a really bad situation for me. Basically, what I'm hoping for is that, alright, I'm going to catcher out Landorus EX. I'll just play an Amoonguss because it's going to get discarded anyway. Poison and confuse him. And I'm going to Juniper. Now, you might think, why not just, you know, attack with Ninetales? Well, it's because I'm going to get knocked out by Tornadus EX's blow-through, and then he's down to 1 prize. And then I just kind of lose. There's nothing I can do to really stop him from winning the game. So this turn I need to attack with Mew EX. That's got to be my goal here. If I can attack with Mew, and I also need to get a Rattata down, by the way. So I need to get a Mew and a Rattata and a Fire off of my Juniper. Because then next turn I can evolve to Raticate, use another Spore Prize, attach a double colorless, and Super Fang for the win. So I need to go for this. Otherwise I'm just going to lose, I think. So I'm going to draw 7 here, and you can see I whiff completely. That is not a pretty 7 cards. I didn't even get an energy to prepare with. And then I level ball and see, oh, my last Raticate's prize anyway. So never mind that. So I'm going to grab another Vulpix with the level ball. And then I'm just going to retreat to something, I think probably Ninetales, and pass. That's really all I can do. I don't have anything else. And if I don't do that, well, that's really my only choice. I can't unattack this turn. I could Devolution Spray, and I think I should. One of my Amoongusses, and just pass. Just give myself more options if he catches one of those out. And knocks it out. So now it's just going to come down to, does he have a way to get out of the active spot? If he has a switch, then, well, that's pretty much that. I'm going to lose the game. I can end him down to 1. Maybe steal a win somehow. I'm not sure how, but I could end him to 1 and see what happens. That's really my only hope if he has a switch. And he does play a computer search, so I'm thinking he's got a switch in his deck. And that's pretty much just going to be the end of the game. You can just see how fragile the Ninetales Amoonguss Raticate deck is. It's just, it takes too much to get going. If I could start the game with Raticate with 3 energy on it, then maybe it would be good. But you don't. The 3 energy cost, the 60 hit points, the 30 hit point Rattata, it's all just bad news. And oh, actually he went for Super Scoop Up and then got it Tails. Huh. It's alright, that was kind of weird. Maybe he doesn't have any switch left. He attaches to the Landorus EX, and okay, he has a Juniper. He's going to be drawing 7. Maybe he thought he would draw the switch off of this, and then decided to just go for the Super Scoop Up, because the heads really does clinch the game for him. There's nothing I can do about that. He would just be able to pick the Landorus EX up off the field. And there is a Roserade, so he can use the Le Parfum to search for a card. I'm guessing this one's going to be a switch for sure. You know, he also could have grabbed a double colorless if one was left and just retreated and used blow through to knock out the Ninetales, and then I probably just lose. But now he's in this situation. He's already attached the fighting. I'm expecting to see a switch here, and then he'll just blow through and knock me out, and I'll probably just lose the game. That's all there's to it. But we see a plus power, another plus power, and a third plus power. He went for the attack, and he got Tails. That should only do 30 to yourself, by the way. The extra damage didn't matter. He would have been knocked out by poison, but Wow. I did not expect that to happen. So now I don't know what to think. I'm gonna level ball for, let's see, I guess Ninetales. And then, yeah, this is a weird situation now. I have to decide what do I want to do to try to win this game. I'm gonna obviously Spore Prize here. That's gonna be, that's a given. But what do I do after that? Looks like I'm gonna Devolution Spray my Ninetales to retreat to this other one. It gets free retreat from the Sky Arrow. Just a nifty trick you can do. That way it forces him to have an energy to knock me out with Power Blast, because that Vulpix already had 30 on it. So now I might be able to win. It's still looking ugly. I'm worried about getting end and all that stuff, but if he doesn't have a catcher to knock out either the Amoonguss or the Ninetales, then I'm actually gonna win. Believe it or not. But we'll see what happens here. So now, all I can do is Hex Flame. I wonder if I played that situation correctly. It's weird to think about. Maybe I should have saved the Devo Spray just for an Amoonguss, so that I could for sure Spore Prize. But then, if he knocks out the benched Vulpix, I lose because I am out of catchers. He might not know that though, but that probably would have been my best bet, just to devolve one of my Amoongusses, just attack with the active Ninetales, and go with that. I overthought it. I assumed that he knew that I was out of catchers, but in reality, I've probably only gone through like 2. I think I only have 3 in this deck because of Ninetales. But the last one is prized. So he's going to catch out Amoonguss and blow through. Now, things look pretty bleak here. It looks like I'm pretty much just going to lose. But there is a way out. As I draw that double colorless, that's going to help. Okay, so that Tornadus EX on his bench has 130 damage. If I can get my Mew EX, which is in the deck, and attach the double colorless, I can copy his own blow through to do the final 60 to knock him out. And I do some math, and I think, alright, it's got 190. 130 plus 60 is 190. So I'm going to have a Bianca for 2 to win the game. So it all comes down to this. Do I draw Mew EX? I got 7 cards. Here goes the Bianca, and I drew it. I drew the Mew. That's it. Double colorless onto Mew. I can retreat. And I can blow through for 60. And I can't believe it. We won. So Raticate, Ninetales, Amoonguss gets the job done. I don't really know how to explain this one. He took some big risk there with the Super Scoop Up and the attacking into confusion. And yeah, I got pretty lucky. So that was an interesting game. I don't really know what to say. I'm actually very surprised that I won this game. But I'm happy about it. And that just shows you that anything can happen in Pokemon. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm Pooka from the Top Cut. And I will see you for another game.